powerful. Yeah. He's so vicious. Like his one punch power at 135 is like nobody else's in the division. Like the way he starches people is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets so much torque and power into his punches, and he's so fast that he covers ground and his uppercuts. They're just devastating.
Sure, I think I can stop him. I'm much quicker than him. He's much stronger, much bigger, but we just gotta wait and see until we get in there and touch the water.
Before the press even began, you could feel something was different. When Gervonta Tank Davis walked into the room, Joe Rogan's reaction said it all. Complete shock. The lightweight champion looked massive. Fans are used to seeing Tank compact, explosive, and lean. But this time, he carried a heavier, more sculpted frame that turned heads instantly. Rogan, who's seen elite athletes up close his whole career, looked stunned, like he just witnessed something completely unexpected.
Giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy's so unusual. Yeah. His style so unusual, and his patience.
The Leo Santa Cruz fight was really something for me because Leo Santa Cruz is a technician, Mexican style, and the fight was very close before Tank stopped him. But he has that power that can end it.
He finds these openings and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient. Like when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he probably has the lowest punch count in the early round. But he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence in that.
During the face-off, Davis seemed almost careful not to show off his new build. He stood calmly, shoulders relaxed, even folding his arms at times to hide parts of his torso. It looked intentional, like he didn't want the spotlight to shift from the fight itself to his size transformation. Still, even with that controlled body language, the difference was impossible to miss. Rogan noted that Jake Paul's entire approach to these kinds of fights is promotional, designed to stir up conversation and draw in casual fans. According to him, it's less about competition and more about spectacle, with the real goal being headlines and clicks. It's worth remembering that Tank Davis normally fights around 135 lbs, while Jake Paul's comfort zone has been near cruiserweight. Almost 200 lbs, that's why fans were stunned when the catchweight for this exhibition was confirmed at 195 lbs. The size gap alone made the announcement feel unreal.
That was Jake Paul promoting it. You know, it's just like, doesn't bother me.
There's compromising the sport, and that's like bad. It's just like
if I bet on it,
watching
the
it
fuck
is
out
hard.
of me.
Watching it with people who are so in on it, and then also man, the sports betting apps, they introduced like chat apps in them in Australia, so it's like they're trying to take the place of social media companies where you go together and you meet your friends. Like betting should be exciting enough without having a weird.
They're just trying to draw you in.
Thing.
They're just trying to make money, right? So they're trying to draw you in any way they can.
Yeah.
To address the mismatch, the exhibition rules were adjusted. Both fighters will wear 12-ounce gloves, heavier than what Davis uses in his weight class. That small detail could make a major difference in how the punches land and how both fighters adapt defensively.
About him fighting somebody your size. His next opponent is by far the most credentialed guy ever fought actively in his prime. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds. He fights at 135.
Davis's longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, expressed real concern about that change. He explained that heavier gloves don't just soften punches, they completely alter timing, rhythm, and the feel of the fight. It's not just about protection, he said. It's about how the whole game changes.
Paul versus Tank fight is getting really weird. Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy. Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. He said it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
I said it was 190.
The next dispute comes with the gloves. Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves. Baby glove. This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Oh, so Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach. Yes, and now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake. Exhibition though, can he win? Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges. So he can actually still win and knock him out. But here's the trick. It's body punches only. And there's a reason. That's because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall? At Jake Paul's belly. Oof. So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's a pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing involved. But Jake Paul for the win.
Boxing analyst Teddy Atlas also weighed in on the face-off, and he didn't hold back. He joked that Tank might need a ladder just to touch Jake Paul's chin. Atlas admitted that skill and style differences are what make boxing great, but in this case, the sheer size gap makes the matchup look almost unrealistic from the start.
It is, you know, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s. So he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they said, put Tank in 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his handlers. They was, no, we don't want to do no mixed match. It's supposed to be an expedition. Why does it matter? What, you know, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these prescriptions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tank don't really care, you know? So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So again, you know, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s.
Atlas compared it to Canelo Alvarez, moving up to face Terrence Crawford, but pointed out that Crawford was never that small. Tank, on the other hand, is naturally compact, and this much of a weight jump raises serious questions about fairness and safety. Fans, pundits, and the media have all echoed those concerns, wondering whether this fight is a genuine challenge or just a risky spectacle. Even Joe Rogan called it uncharted territory for boxing.
They should also have like the size of the ring, the size of the glove, all that stuff. Particulars should be in the contract. But I would probably look for one thing that is not the common thing to have in a contract if I'm Tank. A ladder. A ladder. Can I get a ladder? Somebody? You know what I mean? Hey, look, if he hits him on the chin the way he can punch, Jake might be doing a dance, you know what I mean? Not voluntarily either. But we'll get into that more later. The thing that I'm talking about right here is what you said. It was stark. The size difference was really, you couldn't ignore it. We understand the talent difference, the experience difference. We understand all of that. But the size, the pure, and we understand small guys can beat big guys. We just saw Crawford do it to Canelo, but you know, a little different. The size difference was, I mean, it was eye-catching, jaw-dropping, and it made me think, and I'm going to ask Richie, our man here who's doing all the taping, who does such a marvelous job. I'm going to ask him, because I know he's an expert in this area, but it reminded me of one of the Rocky movies where they had the face, where they did the wrestling thing with Rocky and Hulk Hogan, a.k.a. Thunderlips. He was Thunderlips back there. And I thought I had it right, and it was confirmed to me.
UFC President Dana White didn't mince words either. He slammed Jake Paul for cherry-picking smaller fighters, saying, "You guys need to fight people your own size." White even compared Tank to Floyd Mayweather, claiming Davis hits harder, but still said the size difference could be too much to overcome. In his words, Jake might simply smother Tank with his bulk.